that's not all what it's all about here. It's going to be a big slipstreaming festival. Although it's not the biggest slipstreaming circuit, it still will come into play, I'm sure. As the red lights go out, Simon will cancel then, furthest away from the camera on the inside of the circuit as they head down to the right-hander at Clairvaux for the first time. Was a bit of a touch in the pack behind then. It looks like it's the 4 car that has gone into the lead there, which is Simon Walker-Hansel. Quite a bit of curb being used by some of them as they make their way through. Carl Royston, as you can see, in about 5th or 6th position, number 84, as they went through. One of them, one of the novice drivers, with a black cross on the yellow background on the back of their car going a bit wide. But it's certainly Simon Walker-Hansel out in front of the lead, but one or two of them a bit scrappy coming out of the chicane on the first occasion.
I think we've all got through okay. Down into Tower, Martin West just about hangs on to second. He made a better start and got ahead of Andrew Tate early on. Oh, he's gone wrong at Tower Bend though. It's Paul Clark who's gone for a spin. I don't think he took anybody else with him though, so he'll drop to the back, but should be able to rejoin. So the leaders turn their way through, the Jim Clark S's. It's 4 getting away. Walker-Hansel, who's really got the hang of Locost this year. He has sort of been in the mid-pack for a little bit and took a bit longer. Is that Gary Brandon?
It is, yeah.
Was he off at Tower? He's on the exit of Tower, so whether he was related with the Paul Clark incident, unsure. But there's Cole Roussillon and Craig Land. They're in the second group of cars. Because we've got this 4-car breakaway early on. Land trying to re-challenge Roussillon, but for the lead, it's still Walker-Hansel, is it? Yes, he locks up into the second element. Roussillon leads the next 4, and they'll be trying to work at getting back to the top 4, because they're not that far away, really.
No, not at all. It's still 4 for the lead, then 3 for the next group, and then a bit of a gap back thereafter. But they're not big gaps at this stage, so they can be made up. So, end of lap 1 then. It's Simon Walker-Hansel, number 4, that's in the lead of the race as they turn their way down towards Clairvaux corner for the first time, and a change because Martin West has got through around the outside at Clairvaux there, held it through Hawthorne, so the number 94 car is ahead. Simon Walker-Hansel down to second for the moment. How long will that last? Andrew Tate in third, and then it's Jeff Peake, the 29 guy, who's gone well here in the past, in 4th position. Look at this then, side by side once again, and the number 4 car nosing ahead, but on the outside line for Tower corner here. 94 Martin West is on the inside and gets the car turned in first, so it's West from Walker-Hansel from Peake now, who into Tower's got ahead of Andrew Tate.
And off the road has gone car 40, and 40 is David Martin, who had qualified quite well. That's on the exit of the chicane, but for the lead it's side by side through the Jim Clark S's, and it's Walker-Hansel on the inside down to Croft, and he will grab the lead possibly. Yes, I think he does, but it was very, very tight there with him and Martin West, and that has brought the rest of them into a much bigger pack for the lead.
George Grice retired to the pit lane, by the way, as well at the end of lap number 1. So it's West and Walker-Hansel out in front as they turn their way into the complex once again. So the Walker-Hansel car number 4 now ahead of West in second place, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more cars now in that lead group. So it's a 7-car group for the lead because Jeff Peake and Andrew Tate have been joined by Mark Burton in the number 26 car, by number 2, last year's runner-up Craig Land, and number 84 Carl Royston. Then there is a bigger gap back to 99, who rounds out the top 8. That's Ryan Garrett.
Having a good run. Here are the leaders into Clairvaux on lap 3 of the motor race, being led by Simon Walker-Hansel, but it was quite an exciting lap between him and Martin West, not least the run through the Jim Clark S's in particular. It's the chicane that's next up for the leaders, with Walker-Hansel leading here. That means he's going to be under all sorts of pressure down into Tower.
Well, that was Mark Burton there over the curb on the exit of the chicane. We've seen 1 or 2 drivers in the previous race have quite a big spin there, but he managed to avoid anything too significant, and he didn't really lose too much time either.
Change for the lead into Tower. I thought that might happen. Martin West got the lead back, but Walker-Hansel trying to perhaps replicate the move into the Jim Clark S's on lap 3 of the race. I think he's thought better of it. So it is West in front as they come into Croft from Walker-Hansel, who now darts to the outside here, which then he can cut back perhaps into Sunny, but that's not necessary. Mark Burton, though, he wants to move forward. He's on the inside, up over the curbs to get ahead of Andrew Tate. Looks like Cole Roussenars is struggling to stay with them, so perhaps it's a 6-car lead scrap heading down towards the complex then. Being headed now by Martin West, and he's still there, I think, ahead of Walker Hansel. Then it's Peak, then it's Burton now, the new 4th-place car, ahead of Andrew Tate. Craig Land is 6th, but now Roussenars is back in there, so it's 7 for the lead, into the hairpin to complete 3 laps of this 15-minute race.
Jeff Peak up the inside of Simon Walker Hansel at the hairpin, the two of them overlapping then as they come out of the corner. And who's going to have more speed down the straight? I think it might be Peak actually, although Walker Hansel's going to have the inside line for the right-hander at Clervaux corner. Peak in the car with the yellow sort of bonnet section there. It is going to be Walker Hansel that hangs on. And then just tucked in behind is 26, which is Mark Burton, who 3 years ago here, in 2018, the year he won the championship, he won all 3 races here at Croft in a triple header. And the question is, I wonder if anyone can do that this year.
He's just broken the lap record, by the way, 1 minute 42.36, which is marginally under Louis Wall's effort from a couple of years ago. Down into Tower. 3
of them side by side, and it's going to be Jeff Peak that really uses the toe there, I think, to take advantage there and get ahead of both West and Walker Hansel. So Jeff Peak now takes the lead of the race. It's a really manic affair, this one. We've still got just 9 minutes to go. The first 4, I was going to say, just slightly edging away, including Jeff Peak in that. There's one that's dropped off the back, and that's Roystonars again. As now up the inside goes Mark Burton to try and take 3rd place away from Martin West at Sunny in. Through Sunny out. Can he get the move done there? I think he might do, but then West will possibly have the inside line by the time they arrive back at the complex. It's a crazy race.
Andrew Tate's buying into this. It just feels like normal Locost to me, Ian. As they turn their way into the complex. So did Tate get one of those places?
No, he's got West. He's got West.
He has. And Mark Burton's really getting himself forwards as well. West tries to fight back into the hairpin. It gets a bit tight with him and Tate. So West led the last lap. He's 5th now. But it's Jeff Peak that leads the train of cars as we come not quite up to half distance. It should be a 9-lap race.
Whose turn is it going to be next in the lead of the race, we ask ourselves. Mark Burton might be a contender for that, I reckon, because he's coming forward now. He's got past Simon Walker Hansel. He's up into 2nd place. He's only 1 place behind the leader, Jeff Peak. Have we been counting how many leaders we've had? Are we on 3 at the moment? I think 4 so far. Because Walker Hansel, West, Peak and Tate have all led, haven't they? And now we're going to make that 5, I think, because Mark Burton pulls out of the slipstream of Jeff Peak. Whether he's going to lead at the end of a lap or not, I'm not quite sure, but he's got his nose in front at the moment, so that's good enough for me. 5 leaders during the course of this low-cost race so far, and he does get turned into Tower corner ahead. So Mark Burton, who was, I was going to say way back, row 4 of the grid, now gets into the lead with half of this race left to go. We're on lap 5.
Yeah, I'm surprised he qualified there because I think he was quickest in all the test sessions yesterday. I know not everybody was running transponders, but quite a lot of the Locost were. And Burton was the quickest, and now he leads the motor race from the 4th row off the grid. So he's getting back into this, isn't he? After racing some different cars earlier on this year, Martin West are trying to get a place back there on the inside of Andrew Tate into Sunny, could not make it, and there's a car off.
Yeah, that's at Tower corner. Try and pick up who that one is in a moment, but not one of the leading runners, who are back at the complex once again for the 5th time.
Roussenars is back in there to make it 7 for the lead, isn't he?
He is. So it's Burton leading. He's already been a winner this season in the 116 trophy. Jeff Peak's going to try and get alongside him on the way out of the hairpin, but no, just tucks back in behind again. They're overlapping for 3rd and 4th. Andrew Tate and Simon Walker Hansel, who's at his local circuit this weekend, of course. And then it's Martin West running 5th at the moment from Craig Land and Carl Roystonars. I mean, there's then a gap of about 7 seconds back to Ryan Gap, who's very lonely in 8th. Then a good scrap going on for 9th and 10th, now being headed by Rob Apsey.
Recently, Jeff Peak did a new lap record, 1:42.32, but he did lose the place a lap later to Mark Burton, who continues to lead. But will he be able to hang on this run out of the chicane down to Tower? Well, he's got a good exit to the chicane. He's now weaving about trying to break the toe, but I don't ever think that works because it loses you momentum down the straight, and Jeff Peak looks to the inside then. So despite a great exit to the chicane, you can't hold on. Jeff Peak's back in front then, so you don't really want to lead, I don't think, into the chicane on the last lap of the race, quite possibly here. I think Craig Land's gained a place. Is that Martin West, who's lost another one? Remember, he led earlier, but for the lead into the S's, Mark Burton's coming back through.
He is indeed, but he runs a bit wide there on the exit of the S's, heading towards Barcraft now. And up on the inside of Jeff Peak has gone number 4, Simon Walker-Hansel as well. So Peak down to 3rd. And there's just a gap opening up now between 4th and the rest. So it's Tate in 4th. And then West Landon and Royston, not necessarily in that order, 5th, 6th and 7th, but the first 4 just starting to go away. I would suggest we get a change of lead, do we, again? It's not a different leader, but it is Simon Walker-Hansel back in front. Is he going to make it stick? He's got the inside line for the right-hand element of the complex, and that usually does the job.
The gap 4th to 5th is gone, so it's back to 7th for the lead. It seems to be a repeating factor. Is Burton coming back for the lead into the hairpin? No, that probably wouldn't have really been sensible, so he stays in behind. There's still a third of the race to go. This is the completion of 6 laps. There should be 3 further laps to go. Mark Burton pulls out of the toe, down to Clairvaux, the left-hand side of the racetrack. And will he get in front here? He does. I think Walker-Hansel didn't fight that too hard. He knows how to win these races. But he won both on the road at Donington in similar kind of fashion, racing with your head rather than perhaps with your heart, with all excitement to lead any moment you can. But it's Mark Burton then that leads out of the chicane. Again, he's had a good exit to the chicane. This time he's not weaving about. Walker-Hansel did not get a good exit, so Jeff Peak goes 2nd. Can Mark Burton hang on to the lead here? Has he managed to hold on from the chicane to the tower? I think that's the first time it's happened all race.
And Burton goes very wide there. He goes very wide indeed. Jeff Peak gets through. Simon Walker-Hansel gets through as well.
So he didn't hang on. He outbraked himself.
No, he's not. He's trying to hang on for 3rd place there, or for 2nd place there, but he can't make that work through the S's. He's got Andrew Tate right with him, and then Craig Land just behind as well. So Burton there in the red car, red and black car, number 26, kind of motorsport car, just turning its way through Sunny in and Sunny out and back down towards the complex again. He's off on the grass now. It's an eventful lap for him. It's one that allows Andrew Tate get up into 3rd position. As into the pit lane comes number 32, Andy Pointer.
Leaders into the complex then with Peak ahead of Walker-Hansel, Burton back to 3rd, 4th is Tate, 5th is Land, then a bit of a gap back to Roussillard, and West down to 7th with a bigger gap. So driver that led in this race, Martin West, is dropping away unfortunately for him.
Oh, and a spinner and someone who's been off. It's number 77, Mark Roux, starting right at the back.
Well, he might have reached the tyre wall there.
Yeah, I suspect he might.
So we've got 2 laps to go in this race. We've completed 7 of what will be a 9-lapper. Mark Burton, he's back on the tack again. He goes round the outside and easily passes Simon Walker-Hansel.
New fastest lap of the race as well for Jeff Peak, a 1:42.23, so further reducing the lap record. And he has got a few lengths between himself now and Mark Burton as well.
I think Jeff Peak was involved in that first race incident at Donington Park, which meant he didn't get any results there, but going really well here in a repaired car at Croft to lead the race, then down to Tower. He locks up. Is he going to be able to hang on to the car? He's working at the wheel. You could visibly see that on the Alpha Live streaming pictures, but he has been able to hang on, and not many people have done that in this race. On the next lap it's going to be super important because this is the penultimate lap of the race. This is the Jim Clark S's, and this is Jeff Peak leading, but only just.
Yeah. Whoever's leading now may well not be leading by the end of the lap or even the end of the race, but I suspect Mark Burton won't be too fussed about sitting in 2nd place at the moment, at least until the chicane, and then making a move down the straight towards Tower. Maybe that's what number 4, Simon Walker-Hansel has him on, getting up into 2nd place to make that move down the back straight into the complex for the final time, or penultimate time I should say, they come. And Peak it is that's still ahead of Burton, and number 4 Walker-Hansel, 42 Tate, and it's 2 the TSR car of Craig Land in 5th position. So out of the hairpin they come for the final time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars, with the one that's really dropped back now, Martin West, a long way from the lead group.
I wonder if Martin West's car overheated, because it actually be quite easy today being in this pack, particularly I imagine. Anyway, it's the last lap. All eyes to this battle for the win. It's Jeff Peak that leads then into Hawthorne. Has Tate got Walker-Hansel there? He has. So Andrew Tate's got into 3rd place. So this is going to be difficult for Walker-Hansel to repeat Donington Park's results, but for the win then it's Peak that leads, but he's driving from one side of the circuit to the other to try and keep Mark Burton behind him. Oh, there's a car off, so there was yellow flags anyway, but it'll be green into Tower, but Jeff Peak hangs on into here with Burton in P2. Tate still third, fourth, Walker Hansel fifth land. The positions didn't change because of the yellows.
Yeah, and that would have undone many a calculation, I think, as to how this race was going to be won and lost. So plan B, if that's what we're now on, for Mark Burton to try and find a way past Jeff Peak in the remaining third of a lap there through Barcroft up to Sunny. So he's going to go up the inside into Sunny. There is just about a gap there. The sort of halfway alongside one of that. No, can't make it through there. So complex it will have to be for Mark Burton if he's going to get another win here at Croft.
Well, let's see. There's a couple of opportunities, really, isn't there? And he's trying to slipstream his way alongside Jeff Peak, then into the left-handed element, and it's very tight. I think it's Peak. It's hard to tell because the sun's glaring on the cards, but it is Peak that leads then. But Burton into the hairpin. Is he going to have a go, Ian?
Let's have a look. No, not particularly. Relying on a mistake there by Peak, who runs ever so slightly wide, but not really wide enough. So it's going to be Peak, number 29, that comes across the line to take the checkered flag and win round 3 of the Demon Tweeks Yokohama Locost Championship. But an absolute blanket finish there.
Yeah, I have indeed. Jeff Peak then gets the victory in our first low-cost race of the weekend. But Jeff, it could have been you, it could have been Mark, it could have been any one of 7 drivers.
Absolutely, that's typical. That's typical low-cost driving. Really competitive, really clean. I'm really pleased with this because I had a really bad first round at Donington, but I've come back strong. So yeah, really pleased with that. Really pleased.
Yeah, it was important for you to bounce back because there was quite a bit of damage done, wasn't there, at Donington?
Yes, there was, and I must say thank you to Matt Gilmore for that. He got my car back together for me. Admittedly, I didn't get it until last weekend, but it's absolutely brilliant. So.
Tactics are always key in a low-cost race, and I'd imagine many people's last lap tactics were kind of went out the window with that yellow flag. That almost came to your rescue a bit, didn't it?
It did, actually, because Mark Burton, he had me down the back straight, but because of the double wave yellows, he had to ease. And once I saw that, I thought, okay, there's one other place he might get me, but thankfully I managed to hold him off. So, yeah, it was good, and fair play to Mark as well. Really good battle.
How much is that you can do to try and position yourself in the right place in the queue? Because no one really wants to lead on the last lap, do they? But it's hard to manufacture it.
It is, and I must admit, when I saw the last lap board go out, I thought, I don't want to be here. But thankfully, there was a bit of battling going on behind, which held them up. And then I saw Mark Burton was coming after me, and I thought, okay, he's tough, but I managed to keep him behind. So.
Well, very entertaining to watch, as it always is. Looking forward to more of the same tomorrow. Jeff Peak then is our first low-cost winner of the weekend. We're nearly there. A couple more races to go here from Croft. Don't go anywhere.